This NFL Rookie of the Year Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick 'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, golf, MLB, MMA, NHL, and more. Sign up today at UnderdogFantasy.com using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match.
Hey, this is John Smoltz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green, with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Oh, we're back. Football's back. Done with these other sports.
Football is back.
100%
football never went anywhere. We just did a NFL draft props, NFL draft stream, and then as soon as the draft happens, NFL Rookie of the Year odds come up. Great market.
I was looking at all the futures odds. I feel like we need to re-break down everything. We might as well just start going through every futures market, talking football every day.
What's the futures market that changed the most for you, Ryan?
I don't know. I just want to talk about it all. Anything would be better than this soft ass NBA playoffs we're tolerating right now. Can you remember the last time the playoffs were so soft? Teams just, I don't know. It just seems like teams want to go home. No fight, no dog in a lot of these teams. Not like the dogs that got drafted over the weekend. All right. What do you want to, well,
shout out to me. I forgot to include in my draft portfolio that on February 27th, I gave out Chicago Bears to draft Caleb Williams at -900.
Wow. Razor sharp. Are you just clicking around, looking at
just looking at some early winners.
All right. Shout out to the chat. Easy, doing the Lord's work, talking about playoff. I do agree. Playoff hockey greater than playoff basketball.
Yes,
that would be my take.
What are we getting into, Ryan? Talking a little NFL Rookie of the Year. The odds are up, ready to lock and load, and of course, Underdog Fantasy. If you guys haven't already signed up, UnderdogFantasy.com. Download the app. Promo code SGPN. A little spicy here with a nice little higher lower. I saw our boy Scotty Reichel, aka Reichel Radio, giving out some plays there on the old X line. Lot to get to, and perfect way to get a little bonus there on playoff hockey. Florida now has the champions game going up. So if you are in the state of Florida, hadn't played Underdog Fantasy before, get in over on the champions product, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN, get you that 100% deposit bonus, and really burying the lead. Brian, Best Ball Mania 5, is it?
Cinco
Best Ball Mania 5 is here. $25 entry and $15 million in prizes.
Oh my God.
I'm sure we're going to be doing a bunch of these drafts, Ryan. $1.5 million to first. Second half gets a cool $750,000 mil. So again, if you deposit $100, you get a free $100. You get 4 free chances to win your share of 15 million in prizes. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
Slight a little continuation on the read. Prize structure has changed. I don't know if you've seen it, Sean. I'm curious to hear your feedback. Do you know the details?
I've seen the current prize structure. I don't recall last year's prize.
All right, so they got rid of the regular season prizes. Remember that payout?
Yes,
completely gone.
Okay.
They basically they made it more valuable to make the finals. You make the finals and you max enter, you're breaking even at worst. Even if you don't cash in it, like it's like 37.50 to the worst person in the finals. Other than that, they got rid of the regular season thing. I guess they're toying around with the prize structure a little bit. I don't know how they flattened it a bit. It's not quite as top heavy. I feel like you make it to be top heavy. It's like a milli maker. You don't want to flatten the prize structure of a milli maker. You want it to be hefty at the top.
This will be the year I win when they flatten the prize structure, right? But just my luck.
Was the regular season prize was a good idea.
I thought so. Why do people not like it?
They got rid of it.
No, I'm just saying, what was the argument against the regular season best ball prize?
I think they wanted to make. It seems like the thesis is make getting to the finals the most valuable thing.
Okay.
So I could see that.
Hey, Best Ball Mania 5, get in. Fun.
When
fun.
will we? Our first. We have an episode scheduled for Sunday, so we will. You know what? I won't draft a team until then. It'll be my first team.
Popping your cherry on air, Ryan.
I kind of have a new passion right now, so who knows? Draft
won't
day.
Share it on air.
Draft day won't. Well, soon. Stay tuned. Draft day may be a whole different vibe this year.
Oh wow.
Best ball and digital ponies. Just watch some digital ponies. Fuck, make some babies. Let's go. All right. You want to go off? You want to start with defensive? I feel like offensive is the headliner.
Sure.
Defensive.
Not afraid to talk ball.
A little less. Well, I'm sure you. I saw you were doing some research before the show, so I'm assuming you did some level of. You're gonna have some like, this is who's won in the past, and you're basically gonna tell us it's all about if we ignore the era of football where running backs mattered, aka like 10 years ago or further. I have to imagine we're looking at a situation where if the ratio of people who win this is like 75% pass rushers, 15% cornerbacks, and maybe sprinkle one linebacker in there, linebacker or safety.
Yeah, I mean Shaq Leonard winning in 2018, he was the real outlier.
But he got sacks though, right?
Yeah, he also got sacks, and he was also in the second round. Everyone else, first round pick.
Yeah, it is. The defense is much more of a defense is much more of a pedigree, much more of a like what you are is what you are. And I think, at the key positions, especially, you're just limited if you're not a
last
dude.
10 years, Aaron Donald, and there, to your point, there's a handful of cornerbacks. So
read them out. Read the list off.
Aaron Donald, 2014.
Okay.
Marcus Peters, cornerback,
First
Kansas
round.
City Chiefs. Joey Bosa, baby.
First round.
Marshawn Lattimore.
First round.
Shaq Leonard. Like I said,
was he first round?
No,
Yeah,
he wasn't.
okay.
That's why
He was the outlier.
Yeah, and it wasn't even. I don't even think it was that deep in the second round. He was very unfortunate. His career kind of just fell off there because of injuries. But he was very exciting there in the beginning. Pick number 36, so just outside the first round.
So he's still a top 36 prospect. I mean, it seems like it mattered. You got to have the pedigree.
Yes.
Continue.
Nick Bosa.
First
You
round.
already got Joey Bosa. Chase Young.
First round.
You want to also talk about guys who've just fallen off.
He peaked early.
Chase Young. What a wild ride. He had didn't he have a sack in the Super Bowl? And then he didn't do anything the rest of the game, I feel like.
Yeah, people were so mad when the Giants didn't get that pick and ended up getting Andrew Thomas instead. Ho hum.
Micah Parsons, 2021, again, sacks guy. And then Sauce Gardner, again, just high level cornerback. I don't even know if Sauce Gardner put up what did he have rookie year interception wise? He only has 2 career interceptions.
He had good numbers, certainly,
and both of them were in his rookie year.
But the true sign of an elite guy is that they don't even throw at you, and that's what Sauce was benefited from.
Yeah, no, certainly. It's
because typically rookies get plenty of reps because they are getting picked on, and so in a way, the lack of real stats is why. And if you look at the advanced stuff, he certainly did well. I mean, he was a home run pick.
Yeah. Will Anderson last year.
So all right. So then I heard basically 6-3-1 or 3 cornerbacks, 6 defensive linemen / sack people, and 1 linebacker that also got
Shaq Leonard was.
So basically, we've crossed a lot of people, and honestly, what the cornerbacks, they basically were all lockdown guys from the get go.
Yeah,
those 3 guys had one thing in common, and they basically right out of the gate were more than we're stud guys you could put on an island. So. All right, bottom of the top. This will be quick.
It's a counting stat for D line, and then Marcus Peters did have career high interceptions 2015 when he got the Rookie of the Year, which is interesting.
Typically, we go bottom to the top, but I'm going to go top to the bottom with this one because I think for the most part, we evaluate the guys who are obvious, and if there's anyone else to even mention, maybe that's how we do it. I don't think it's worth reading off, a cornerback that was. I mean, Drew Phillips, who was drafted by the Giants in the 3rd round, the pick that I like the least. Of course, I remember I would have preferred an offensive lineman there, the guard out of UConn. But he's 75 to 1. He's not winning this award. We're not going. That's middle of the list, Sean. That's not bottom of the list.
No.
All right, so at the top, you had the top 3 edge rushers. They make up the premier class here. Dallas Turner 5 to 1, Latu plus 650, Verse 10 to 1. I'll be completely honest. I don't know why their prices are different. I don't know what about their situations make any of their prices, like why they have different prices. I don't know. Is it you think Dallas Turner is going to be productive right away? To me, knowing that these 3 guys are kind of in a bunch, let's take the guy with the longest odds, aka Jared Verse. That's my take on this first kind of bunch right here. Also, like the situation for Jared Verse as much as the other guys, if not more. I mean, where did Latu land on a team that's going to eat the clock?
Colts?
I think so.
They play in a dome. I think
they're going to play fast, but I don't know if that.
I mean, I think Latu as a prospect. We had Dwight Freeney on, Hall of Famer, talking about how if you're a speedy edge guy, getting that get off there certainly. In the dome. I like the Latu pick, but to your point, I'm 100% with you. Verse at 10 to 1, I think is a good value play here.
Yeah. Also, there's I just don't know why they're different.
Well, in the Rams, I mean, look at the Rams depth chart. I mean, I know they lost Aaron Donald, but I don't know. This Rams defense really, they got the most out of their guys, including Kobe Turner last year, who probably should have been he was in the mix there at the very end, almost got rookie of the year. Also, like a great example of how if you're not a 1st round pick, you're not getting defensive rookie of the year. If Kobe Turner didn't get it last year against Will Anderson, he had more sacks, more productive, then I think you're really going to be, you're just going to be, I don't know. It's really a tough path because I don't think they.
So why? All right. So Verse goes 19 to the Rams. Turner goes 17 to the Vikings. Is that purely because Brian Flores more pressure? Like why would their prices be so different? Latu to the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Which defense is going to be more aggressive? If anything,
I don't understand why Dallas Turner is the favorite. He wasn't the first guy selected.
No,
he fell once Latu's medicals got cleared
because he's replacing a guy who had a lot of sacks in Donnell Hunter, maybe. Which he's replacing a really good player. So it's an interesting take. Again, if you put those guys in a bunch, I think it's fair to say I don't see big enough difference. Take the longest odds. All right, next you have you kind of have a mix of different positions, but the first 2 corners off the board, Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo, who got drafted by the Eagles. I agree. Awesome. I agree. I told you. I think even before the draft, I made a comment about the Eagles are going to draft him, and you're going to go back and you're going to watch all the Senior Bowl footage, and you're going to
great.
Arnold out of Alabama, who went to the Lions. He's also 11 to 1. Byron Murphy, the lineman out of Texas, we thought might go first off the board, but the Falcons screwed up the whole draft. 12 to 1. Chop Robinson 16 to 1. Linebacker Peyton Wilson, who went in the 3rd round, 25 to 1. Another Eagles corner who went in the 2nd round. Cooper DeJean, maybe he's a safety, but we know he's a white guy, that's for sure. 25 to 1. Nate Wiggins 25 to 1 on the Ravens. Kool-Aid on the Saints 28 to 1. Johnny Newton 30 to 1. Shocked the Redskins were able to get him in the 2nd round. Darius Robinson 30 to 1, first rounder, edge out of Missouri, and Edgerrin Cooper, the first linebacker, taken 30 to 1 out of A&M. Brandon Fisk 30 to 1. I'll stop there. That's like, to me, the end of the realistic guys. But we went off a lot of cornerbacks, a couple linemen. We kind of highlighted the reason. Are any of these cornerbacks going to be on an island, shut down guys?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know about that. I don't know if any are going to be asked to do that, like Sauce was, and like Latimer, like some of these guys were that were able to get that award. So,
yeah, no, I mean Quinyon Mitchell. Well, and also too the Fangio scheme. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like who are good examples of cornerbacks in the
Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey would be the first one,
but he's also an all like an alien prospect that's on a slightly different level than Mitchell. Like if Mitchell came in and was able to be even just an average cornerback, I just don't think he's going to be. You think he's going to be asked to do a ton right away?
No, I don't think so. And again, Darius Slay is still probably going to be covering the number one guys. They haven't even cut Bradbury yet. So even his path to starting, like a couple things need to happen. I don't think he's going to be matched up against the number one guys. I think he could have a really good year. I just don't know. I think at cornerback to beat out one of these pass rushers is going to get like 9-10 sacks, and it almost always goes to those guys. Like to beat it out in
Sauce had like a name brand too. I think that helped.
Well, I mean, he was a top 10 guy. There was a reason. Yeah. I mean, especially
he was the fourth fucking pick.
Yeah, there's a reason no defensive players were taking it. I mean, again, obviously the NFL evaluators can be wrong, but Sauce Gardner, you kind of knew was Sauce Gardner coming in. Now I'm very happy with the Quinyon Mitchell selection, but I don't think. Yeah, at 11-1, I think it's really priced in there are already. Same with Terrion Arnold. I don't know. What do you think of Terrion Arnold at 11-1? I see Easy making a case for him.
You know, I it's just hard. It's hard to get yourself. You know, in a weird. I would bet Mitchell before I bet Arnold. Just stylistically, the way that they play, I do think you would really need to be a lockdown guy, and I think you need also the edge, the line and edge class to basically not have a standout year. So I guess that's one way to think of it. But are you fading all the edges to not have a good sack years? To me, one of these guys will have a good year.
Yeah,
they generally do. It's much easier to be a sack guy early than it is to be a good defensive back. It's a product of the game, and it's a product of how the game's played. To be a good defensive back early in the modern game. I mean, the cornerbacks you listed outside of Sauce were like 7-8 years ago. It's very difficult for a cornerback to come in the league and be good right now. So I just think you have to cross them all off. I would cross all of them off. Now,
I don't know, with the price factored in,
I'm not interested. You want to, if you were to put, I would completely just cross them off. I would also cross the linebackers off. I don't think teams run the ball unless, maybe you get 2 Arthur Smith games a year. I don't think teams run the ball enough for a linebacker. Unless that you need like a multi-sack. Maybe you get a defensive. So
what about Chop Robinson?
Well, so now that we've erased all the positions that don't matter, you have Byron Murphy 12-1, Chop Robinson 16-1. Not Byron really
Murphy's,
interested.
I like Byron Murphy, the player. But also too, so many times you see the good interior pass rushers create some pressures, but they never get the sacks.
Well, last year Carter. To your point, the kid on the Rams,
Carter was and the Rams guy did get the sacks. He just didn't get the love. Jalen Carter, I thought, was kind of in the mix there and just fell off as the entire Eagles team fell apart. Chop Robinson is a little interesting to me because in that Miami scheme, I could see him. I'm trying to think of
I don't know if I could see him. I think if you want to look at the reason the edge was successful, it's because they had an amazing player in the middle who they lost in free agency, and the interior of that defensive line is not the same. Chop Robinson is a guy who didn't produce in college. It's based on he's a toolsy player who they got to he's long and he's got the. I don't know if that's the kind of guy that comes in and produces right away. I would go further down the board, Sean. We talked about this on Sports Gambling Podcast Live on VSiN Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific. Darius Robinson out of Missouri. Again,
this one's definitely.
What do you look for? You look for do they play the right position? It's an edge rusher going into Jonathan Gannon's system there in Arizona. This is a team that I'm optimistic about. Let's just find another way to bet an Arizona Cardinals ticket. This to me, I mean, and you want to compare the prospects. This Darius Robinson kid, 6'5", 285 pounds. So yeah, I certainly think he could turn out to be I mean, Latu 6'5", 259, a little smaller there. Dallas Turner 6'3", 247. Jared Verse 6'4", 254. So he's the biggest of the bunch. If he can get
what about Cooper DeJean, Ryan?
No.
If he gets you a punt return for a touchdown,
here's the thing. I do love that the videos of him playing basketball are circulating because you know I love
he's gonna return a punt for a touchdown and dunk on the crossbar. It's gonna be an electric moment that unites the city of Philadelphia.
Listen, I rooted for Jason Sehorn. I understand how exciting this is, Sean. I understand. No, thank you. My problem with him is I worry that whatever this injury thing is like something that has to be dealt with after the season, and he won't be himself until next year.
Also too his path to playing time immediately. Again, Cooper DeJean's ahead of him.
Safety.
Yeah, and he might play safety.
Hey,
but even
he's
safety,
a white guy. You go back there, get in the back of the defense. Safety.
Even safety, his path. They have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They have Reed Blankenship. So yeah, I don't know if he's playing right away. Period. I do think he sees the field, but you're right. It might be a little later in the season. 25-1, considering his path to playing time.
Do you want to talk about Johnny Newton at 30-1?
He's interesting. Washington? I mean, now he is technically in the second round, but at 36, he's pretty close there.
He would also be a guy that, I mean, unfortunately, Washington does a really good job of getting defensive linemen in there. I don't think he's going to play over Payne or Jonathan Allen. So could be a longer path for him to get on the field. Any other edges, maybe like further down the board? I don't know if there was one of your favorite, I know, what about Eagles draft pick, Jalix Hunt? Maybe throw that out there. Come on. Where's your, I must be in your notes over here.
What's his price?
Well, I was going through my list of prospects. I don't have that in front. Let me see here.
Is he listed?
Oh yeah. How he would not be wow. He's off the board. They have a lot of people listed. So let's just say he'll be what, 300-1 then?
Yes.
150-1. All
right. I'm just going to Kalen King. I'm replacing Ryan with Jalix Hunt.
That's fine.
I'll tell you why Jalix Hunt makes sense. One, freak athletes who
give me the scouting report. I'm sure you've watched the highlights.
No, he's super interesting. One, mostly because Fangio, after seeing him play it was either the Shrine Bowl or whatever.
I love these stories.
Well, and he goes, just give me one player, give me Jalix Hunt.
Just give me the one.
And I'm pulling it. I got to quick sidebar. Oh, we'll save for when we talk offensive rookie of the year. I discovered a hilarious tweet. It reminds me of I got to pull up this Jalix Hunt thing real quick.
It feels like this is going to be a name that we get some good sound bites from sportscasters.
Jalix Hunt seems like a
Hunt,
very interesting dude.
Also a good way to accidentally say cunt.
On July 4th, 2018, someone tweeted out a photo of them looking at an eagle.
Oh,
and Jalix Hunt responded, "Amazing bird, 2 set of eyelids, 1 set being hard and transparent. When storms approach, instead of hiding, they use these transparent eyelids to fly into the storm. Debris can't affect vision, and they use the storm to rise above the storm itself, working to be like the eagle." And nice. So a Eagle fan quote tweeted and said, "Don't know who this dude is, but I am in." So you're right, Ryan. Jalix Hunt is a fun long shot, and I'm actually going to hit up the guys at Circus, see if we can get that listed over there.
Maybe we wait till we're out there, so no one jumps.
You're right.
In action.
You're right.
No need to get. So anyone else down?
Well, real quick, just coming back to Jalix Hunt, we've seen the Eagles defense have moments where they really have like a crazy amount of sacks. That was under Gannon, but Jalix Hunt coming in there, maybe Huff's also rotating. Maybe he's going to see playing time right away on passing down situations.
To your point, I mean, I think it's got to be probably a first round guy, but real quick, the second round defensive line class, the decent amount of them drafted right near the first round. Aurora, Newton, Tavondre Sweat, who's a million, like he's 366, but he didn't weigh in at the combine. He was like rumors were that he was over.
Do we want to
pounds.
officially add Newton Ryan at 30-1?
No, I don't think he gets enough playing time.
Yeah, you're probably right. I do like the prospect though.
A 400-pound man is interesting. He probably can't stay on the field. Brandon Fisk,
you need the snaps.
He'll be playing with Jared Verse. He might be interesting. And then Mason Smith out of LSU on the Jags, Chris Jenkins on the Bengals. None of this is exciting to me. To me, we've eliminated almost everyone from the class except for like 6 guys. So, final answer.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No, I'm trying. I mean, Kool-Aid. Do we want any thoughts on Kool-Aid?
I mean, certainly.
I mean, you look at the fact that they've had cornerbacks taken early that have won a Rookie of the Year, Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, I would view it as playing across from a bona fide stud does give you an upper hand, I think.
Yeah, because it forces passing action your way,
and that's why Kool-Aid and Nate Wiggins have a similar price. They both have a similar situation on the other side of them, which is very high level cornerback play in a system that's probably going to funnel the ball towards them. So give them ability to make some plays.
Well, and Nate Wiggins, again, I don't understand the Ravens fit, but some people are super high on it, and you're playing on a good defense.
To me,
so I think that's big too.
If you want to bet a cornerback, to me, the situation for Wiggins or Kool-Aid is much better than Mitchell or Arnold.
Well, especially with price considered, even if it's kind of close, the fact that you can get a Kool-Aid at 28-1, Nate Wiggins at 25-1, compared to Mitchell and Arnold at 11-1, I think the value is certainly there.
You want a dark horse?
Yeah. Besides Jalix Hunt.
I'm
gonna put $100 on that. What do you think they
more
limit
pro Cardinal love?
Oh no!
Put me down for Max Melton.
Max Melton,
the cornerback out of Rutgers.
What round was he? Third?
He was second. He was 43rd pick, so pretty close to the first round. I will, if I'm going to take a stab on a cornerback, it's going to be a true long shot, 60-1.
Trying to remember.
Enos Rakestraw also 60-1. He was potential first round talent. But yeah, no, I think this is a good. All right, so Jared Verse. So we don't want to. So we talked about Fisk, and no, we don't like him. All right, so.
Rakestraw is interesting because he's going to be competing with Arnold, and he doesn't. What's his path to starting? Like
I actually don't like that for that reason.
Rakestraw,
two rookie corners. Yeah, I don't like that.
I think it's I think Rakestraw is going to.
I'm going to add to the card. Give me. You know what? I'm going to go 2 teammates. Max Melton, Darius Robinson for the Cardinals. And give me Jared Verse and Braden Fisk for the Rams.
Braden Fisk, huh?
Two Florida State teammates lining up on the same defensive line, getting after it, just like old times, just like college. It's gonna be like the old wobbly H's they used to run at the dorms, allegedly.
I'll just go Jared Verse 10-1, Darius Robinson 30-1, and then Jalix Hunt 300-1.
1 million.
Self-proclaimed 300-1. We'll try and get. We'll try and get an actual price on that one. But that's. I mean, Jalix Hunt. It's too fun. I'm already loving this dude just because
you're
welcome.
His
attitude. Thank you, Ryan.
See, I mean, this is the. Fortunately, I did some pre-production.
Yes, appreciate that.
What dug down the board.
All right, let's kick over to the offensive rookie there. Before we do that, shout out to Unified. Whether you're a world-class athlete or a podcaster like me, we all understand the importance of mental and physical well-being and proper recovery for top-notch performance. This is why I'm excited that Unified Healing is sponsoring this episode of the NFL Rookie of the Year odds. I mean, if you're a rookie, Ryan, you gotta be at your best mentally, physically. Unified Healing is a new and super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by the Energy Enhancement System, or EE System. If you haven't heard of EE System yet, you'll want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness, deep relaxation, purification, and rejuvenation. Whether you're here in LA or hundreds of other locations across the globe, access to a center is both easy and affordable. Interested in experiencing the EE System technology for yourself? Go to unifiedhealing.com/SGPN to learn more and find a center near you. That's UNIFYDhealing.com/SGPN. No materials or testimonials on the Unified Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, including EE system.
Found his odds for real. 150 to 1.
Okay.
Jalix Hunt. Be very careful. I want to hear Ryan Seacrest get that enunciation down.
What makes you think they're talking rookie of the year on Ryan Seacrest show? Ryan?
Can I tell you a quick?
I do.
Do you want to hear a quick Ryan
Do your
Seacrest
daughters
story?
listen to Ryan Seacrest? I feel like it's referenced a lot.
My youngest daughter enjoys listening to a couple of the local radio stations. One of which is the pop station. So
it
in the
morning,
funny,
kids these days of all the hey, Spotify, Apple Music, everything you get your hands on, and still listening to morning radio.
But what's funny about it is when they try to skip a song and it's the radio, because you can go back in the radio now on songs.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Anyway, so Seacrest in the mornings is one of the shows. Seacrest had Seth Rogen on this morning. Yeah. Just not 2 peas in a pod.
Ain't smoking my weed.
Seth Rogen got through that media commitment. He survived it. Anyway, yeah, she's a big Seacrest fan.
Ryan, I totally missed this. Did you realize Jimmy Garoppolo was on the Los Angeles Rams? I feel like I kind of forgot that. He's also dealing with a PED suspension.
Yeah, where did I feel like we did talk about it because
I just totally blanked it out. I was looking up on our boy Stetson Bennett because Ryan, you want to talk about the ultimate dark horse narrative for rookie of the year. Stetson Bennett after the year off, who knows what happened? Does he qualify for rookie of the year?
I mean, you can't put a man in recovery that close to the fucking sexual dynamo that is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh wow.
That feels like a dangerous component to the quarterback room is electric. But imagine being Matt Stafford. You walk in, you see Stetson Bennett and Jimmy G. That's got to be some sort of fucking joke. Does Jimmy G see the field this year?
I don't know.
He's definitely.
That's interesting. That I totally forgot he was on the Rams.
He must really suck, and players don't even like him.
No one was when he got run out of the building for Aiden O'Connell. You didn't hear anyone like, "Oh, that's messed up." Not Jimmy G.
Well, I mean, I feel like we heard directly from an athlete's mouth how much people don't like Jimmy G. Yeah, he's not for everyone. The ladies seem to like him though. That's good for him. All right, you want to do offense?
Let's do offense. Rookie of the year, Ryan. I was going back, digging through the past offensive rookie of the years.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, the trend there is quarterback. Although receiver, high level receivers. 2014, Odell Beckham Jr. Then Todd Gurley. 2015, Dak Prescott. 2016, 2017, Alvin Kamara, running back. 2018, Saquon Barkley, running back. 2019, Kyler Murray. 2020, Justin Herbert. 2021, Jamar Chase. 2022, Garrett Wilson. 2023, CJ Stroud. Didn't mention 2013, Eddie Lacy, who.
Ooh.
I forgot. I was just kind of digging into Eddie Lacy's career, man. Like he started off so well and then completely hit the wall. Really had a problem keeping his weight down. He was nicknamed Feast Mode. And then I do remember a hilarious set of tweets. I don't know who found this, but they dug up all of Eddie Lacy. He would keep tweeting about that he was craving some China food. That's what he called Chinese food. There's a screenshot, youtube.com/sportsgambling podcast, 6 or 12 different tweets here. And these are just the tweets. I keep craving China food. Craving China food again.
Yep.
Who wants to bring me some China food? The China food I'm about to go get through. I can't stop thinking about China food. Shake my head. China food. Stop. Then finally back to my room. Long day. I'm about to get me some China food. China food time. I want China food. A lot of it. All caps.
You think it's code for pussy?
No, I think he likes Chinese food.
I mean, Eddie Lacy, boy, last offensive lineman to win the award.
Just so much China food.
Remember how fat he got?
Yeah, he was massive.
All right, so hilariously, they have offensive linemen listed here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's come on.
And offense, rookie of the year, it's a unique award in which it doesn't require going all the way to the bottom, because not only do they list the offensive lineman, they listed that new kicker I don't even know why that counts as offense. They're not giving the award to a kicker. Just like that's for the parents or something. So we'll go right back to the top like we did for defense.
Okay.
You mentioned it. Let's just imagine we only look at the quarterbacks.
Well, it's going to be tough not to get it to a quarterback because 6 quarterbacks were drafted in the first round. One of them, I think, is probably going to play enough games and get their team to the playoffs. And if you're a rookie quarterback who gets your team to the playoffs, you're almost certainly going to win Rookie of the Year.
Well, I think we've seen it, right? A couple record-setting seasons were not rewarded.
Yeah, I mean, look at Puka Nacua. Look at all he did. Well, I mean, it was tough because I think they made the right choice. CJ Stroud deserved to be Rookie of the Year. You draft a guy that high, you're gonna start him, and he played extremely well. Led his team to the playoffs, got a playoff victory. So I think they made the right choice.
So you said will certainly it will be a quarterback because one of these players will lead their team to the playoffs.
Yes.
It does seem like, so if we look at 2022 and 2021, Garrett Wilson wins it with the Jets. Jamar Chase wins it with the Bengals. What allowed those guys to have it? The quarterback classes just sucked. Right?
Yeah. Now, technically, Mac Jones did in 2021 did take his team to the playoffs, but the fact that they were that dominant, that Jamar Chase was that amazing, they had to give it to Jamar Chase. But it was really close, if you recall. Like it was neck and neck towards the end there. Jamar Chase or Mac Jones, Rookie of the Year.
And again, in the Justin Jefferson year, another outlier that didn't get awarded. So
yeah, I mean Jefferson didn't get it.
Yeah,
that's a great example.
Jefferson and Puka, both were record-setting, didn't get it. It really but my point to bring that up was more like it's because the quarterbacks didn't stand out. Mac Jones did not stand out in the same way CJ Stroud stood out.
Yeah, I mean, but he was close. I mean, if you go back and remember, like they were close to giving it to him.
Oh, certainly, but CJ Stroud stood out on a different level. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. And so what we would need here is we would need the quarterbacks have to not be there. And so then why not start with the quarterbacks? That seems like the most logical angle. And if we can rule out enough quarterbacks, then maybe we're back to receiver. But Caleb Williams plus 210. This is like I understand why this is the most logical. He's the prospect that meets the opportunity, and the team the team does look good. Could they make the playoffs? It wouldn't be surprising. They'll probably be favored to make the playoffs, I'd assume, right? I don't know what the price is right now, but to me, being favored to make the playoffs suggests to me that you're probably favored to win this award unless you get injured. So plus 210, it's just a horrendous price. You cannot bet.
Bears are 8.5 wins. Over is minus 140. So that's pretty close to.
Do we have miss playoffs? But yeah, I mean, to your point,
I don't see those yet.
But all right, so minus 140 to make the playoffs. Maybe it's closer to even money. Still, no thank you. Plus 210. That's too steep. After that, you have Jaden Daniels at 9-1. You have the potential for flashy offense. In general, the weapons there, the receivers, Dotson, McLaurin.
Did you skip over Marvin Harrison?
No, I'm just talking quarterbacks because we established that the other positions don't. Yeah, I mean
Marvin Harrison at 6-1. It's not interesting.
I think he could have a monster year, but it could be like Justin Jefferson or one of these other guys if one of the quarterbacks stands up. Jaden Daniels 9-1 being the second favorite for the quarterbacks. He certainly has, for as much as people want to talk about Caleb Williams' offense, the Commanders do have pieces. Yep. It's not like he's walking into an empty situation. It's a new offense. It's a new situation. It's Cliff Kingsbury. But I think in general, it does seem like this is a potentially positive situation, and he's going to run the ball and do some flashy shit. And so you have that as well. My issue here is the chance that he plays the chance that he has an Anthony Richardson type rookie year seems more likely. Can't take him at 9-1.
Yeah, I guess I would almost probably take him over JJ McCarthy at this price, but neither of these guys are particularly exciting. I mean, maybe JJ McCarthy. I guess
he's throwing to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson.
But
when
to
he
your
returns.
point, you also get the rushing upside with Jaden Daniels. We've seen it so many times. Like even Jalen Hurts came in for those couple games. Like the guy gets a couple rushing touchdowns. Your fantasy numbers look better. You're helping your team win. Like it really helps carry the passing aspect of it.
I do think McCarthy could run the ball a little bit too. He's got.
Do you think McCarthy is a day one starter as a Sam Darnold supporter, Ryan?
I think if you're going to give Sam Darnold a chance, it's in that system, and so he could be ahead of him. I've heard everything from no big deal. McCarthy should just be able to walk right into the offense to it's going to be a lot different than the simple ass shit they did at Michigan. So I tend to believe the latter.
Yeah,
and I wonder if it's not going to be, to your point, Darnold starting the year. And so to me, the narrative for McCarthy is that they start like he does not start the year and he comes in and he improves play over Darnold and they go on a little playoff run or something like that. And they remain the same level that they had with Kirk Cousins. They may have Drake May at 15-1. Don't know how you can bet this. It seems like the messaging in New England is he's not going to play anytime. Like they don't feel like they're in a rush to play him.
Yeah, they have Jacoby Brissett. They don't have a ton of weapons around them. They don't have a particularly good offense. They lost Zeke, Ryan. Congrats to Zeke once again, a Dallas Cowboy.
Do you think Mac Jones and Zeke are having a consolation dinner with one another?
Oh, that was
two free agents. They were sitting on the same side of the table. I mean, when me and the wife get sat in that situation where you're on the same side of the table, we both look at each other like this is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mac Jones and Zeke, no problem. These Gen Z guys are weird. Weird bunch.
Josh, I'm sending you a meme that was sent to us. Zeke's first practice back as a Cowboy. It's a pretty enjoyable video. YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast to check that out as Josh is loading it up there.
So you're out on Drake May.
Drake May, yeah. I mean,
I don't think you can bet on someone that's not going to play.
Yeah, I think
and
you
Jacoby
have to bet
Brissett's
on,
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
certainly a visual. It's a giant man doing the eat me thing. I can't, and he kind of. I wouldn't say.
Are you sure it's a man?
That's also true. I'm not sure. And falling all over the place. Gigantic.
Are we sure that's
YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast? Very visually.
Looks like he's trying to join.
Zeke is getting ready. So Drake May, we're staying away from.
Zeke looking good. I think so. I think that. I mean, we both like Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. The
chance that Jacoby Brissett plays poorly enough to warrant being benched for Drake May. Because if it's just because the situation sucks, you're not going to throw Drake May for the.
Yeah, and remember, take all these with a grain of salt. You have to be able to beat out Caleb Williams, who is coming into a situation with a bunch of good weapons. They're going to be trying to give him easy passes. So it's like if you're going to it's tough to build a case.
I mean, say,
even look at a guy who didn't start right away. Brock Purdy came in, went 5-0. You know, with his clean, efficient, ho hum, I'm Brock Purdy type attitude, doing everything right, Ryan. And he didn't get offensive rookie of the year. I think you need probably at least 10 games, and especially this year, you're gonna have to probably play the full season because you're competing with Caleb Williams.
I will say, Caleb Williams, like it's not like they're projected to finish third in their division. It's not like they don't have some. But at least projecting to be a couple good teams in Detroit and Green Bay above them. All right, next up we got Bo Nix 21-1. To me, this, as much as I don't like the pick in the first round,
dog,
and I don't think the Broncos probably have the talent to be good, like that good this year, where they're making the playoffs. They're in a difficult division. I do think that they're gonna, their win total is 5.5. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. So
what was the Texans last year? 6.5.
Yeah. So you come in, you have super low expectations, but I'll tell you, doesn't have low expectations. Sean Payton through the roof on Bo Nix. Bo Nix can do everything he wants him to do. He wants him to do it a certain way, and Bo Nix can do that. I think in a very controlled, structured environment, Bo Nix might be able to succeed. if you're not asking him to do too much, especially early, I think they're going to rely on the running game a bunch. And if they can get some decent play from their defense, again, if Bo Nix wins 9 games with this Broncos team, I think he's going to be in the mix for Rookie of the Year.
You know what? That's 21 to 1 is probably the alt win total at if you set it at 8.5.
Yeah, no, I mean, and maybe that's honestly, maybe that's
it's actually, this is probably a better way to play it. Cause I mean, even the division odds, you're not getting 21 to 1 for the Broncos, are you?
I don't think so.
But yeah, I don't know how much. I'm not as high on this becoming a good situation. But I do like the price, and I do like the fact that he's a quarterback. And it's, I guess are we considering that he might not start from day one?
Not in this case, no.
What would you set the odds that he's the day one starter?
I would say -200, because Sean Payton really went out on a limb to draft Bo Nix. So he took a ton of shit. Everyone in the league didn't have this guy as a first round prospect, but Sean Payton basically turned the card in and said, you know what? You guys are idiots. I'm way smarter than you. So for them to then concede that he's not ready to be the day one starter, I don't think Sean Payton's ready to eat shit like that. I just don't.
Then what you don't have. I mean, he did bring in Zach Wilson.
Bo Nix not being ready to start week 1, I think will make Sean Payton look very bad for the pick, and I think he's going to start him whether he's ready or not.
So you don't think Jared Stidham can get the start?
No.
They're going to offer odds on that.
I mean, did you watch? I mean, just like get a screenshot of how excited Sean Payton was talking about Bo Nix, how they tricked, Minnesota, and like where's bluffing that they were into McCarthy, but Bo Nix was their guy the entire time. He got to draft Bo Nix. Bo Nix is his guy. He's 100% in on Bo Nix.
Can't wait to hear Sean Payton talking about Bo Nix. All right, sliding on down the quarterback board. Next up, Michael Penix, which, by the way, interesting note that we had 2 guys with the letters NIX in drafted in the same draft. Michael Penix is 60 to 1. I understand that he is the backup, but
I think again,
his cousin's healthy. Is he healthy? Apparently the pick had nothing to do with him, and a number of people have already mentioned this. He's probably not going to be healthy enough to start the organized team activity. So imagine Michael Penix, who's a guy who's going to look very good throwing a football in shorts with that helmet on. Oh boy.
I mean, he could have some massive games in a dome against vanilla offenses. I think the pressure is going to be on Kirk early. And for a guy who comes off an injury, a guy who I don't think was very excited that they drafted Michael Penix, that could be in the back of his head. And he's dealing with coming back from an injury. Didn't want to have to deal with this. He kept saying how excited he was that they finally committed, a team finally committed to him. Because in Washington, I mean, do you remember? He said that Washington was like year after year, and he kept taking the franchise tag because they didn't want to pay him the big money because he's Kirk Cousins. And even Minnesota, they gave him that first big deal, and then it was like, all right, you just kind of see until we find something better. And sexy ass JJ McCarthy came to town. He goes, "Oh, Atlanta, finally someone that wants me." And then they draft Michael Penix without taking
poor Kirk Cousins.
And I think Michael Penix in this situation might be good. So I like him at 60 to 1.
You have to take him at 60 to 1. He's a quarterback. He's got to. Well, you know why you like him even more than Bo Nix? Because his division is winnable as fuck.
Yeah.
It's an easy path to a division win. And unlike Bo Nix, who will have to contend with Herbert and Mahomes in his own division, Penix has weapons too. Like they're top people. As much as we think people are high on this team, like irrationally high,
60 to 1.
This is an irrational. Well, that's what doesn't make sense. People think this team is in the suit. Like, hey, Kirk Cousins is here. They're in the Super Bowl now. So if he doesn't play,
they can already this year's Super Bowl already locked up. They got to think about the Super Bowl in 3 years when Michael Penix is going to be starting.
They're going to be drafted in the 30s basically every year.
Yeah.
So
the confidence that they're going to be drafting high. Where does that confidence come from? 4 years in a row you drafted at the same spot. Where are you getting this confidence, Arthur Blank?
Okay.
Also, Arthur Blank, you walked out, you came down from your booth and jinxed something in the most hilarious fashion with the 28-3 Super Bowl. Where are you? Wouldn't that have humbled you completely?
No, he's a billionaire. These guys don't get humbled.
No. It's true. So
right.
Penix at 60 to 1, Bodix 21 to 1.
I think we add one more.
One more quarterback.
We're staying. Yeah, we're staying in the division that we just said is
Spencer
winnable
Rattler.
as fuck. Spencer Rattler. If Derek Carr were to suck, wait, he does suck. This just in. A couple different film guys that
David Carr would have been great, but they broke him, Ryan. They broke him. Playing him that first year, they broke him.
I think in that case, I think I agree with you.
I'm being sarcastic.
I know you are, but
I think David Carr always would have sucked.
Perhaps, but he also was put into a really horrible situation.
Both can be true.
And I think with Spencer Rattler, a couple guys that I listened to their takes on the film really like Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
And I think if Carr finds his way to not playing and Rattler is someone that comes in, gives them a little bit of a spark, the Saints are going to play some good defense. They have some solid players on the field. They're going to run the ball. Certainly another 80 to 1. We're talking about a quarterback. I almost think you have to do it in the same reason you have to do Penix. Penix obviously much higher ceiling.
Well, and Penix clearly
Penix a first round pick.
drafted 8th versus a first round pick. I'm not going to fire on Spencer Rattler.
Really?
No.
Put me down for Spencer Rattler.
I see the case. I just
any interest in Joe Milton, 150 to 1 up in New England. Wouldn't that be funny?
Well, is there a chance that Robert Kraft petitions the league to change the rules to instead of play with a football, play with an orange? Because then I don't know if you saw the video, Ryan.
Oh, I've seen all the.
He
videos.
threw the orange 100 yards, which is really cool.
So far. Why are we wasting oranges?
Yeah, I don't like
that. Doesn't feel right. Any other quarterback? Michael Pratt, 150 to 1. He got picked up by Green Bay with that fraud. Jordan Love currently holding it down. Any Sam Hartman 200 to 1. I think that's as far down the board as it goes. All right, that's all I got.
Sam Hartman, man,
I know. Remember, he was like this. Like,
wasn't he going to be like a decently high pick?
Should have stayed in college. Would have made more money. All right, so then that's the quarterback class. So I'll do Nix, Penix, Rattler. You'll do Nix and Penix.
Yep.
Any of the positional play, the receivers, running back. Any like Malik, I think Harrison 6 to 1, Neighbors 14 to 1.
No,
like anything less than
no.
Xavier Worthy 16 to 1. I don't think. I'm not super interested in any of the receivers.
I mean, Keon Coleman. I think when we were talking the VSiN show, his odds were like 40 to 1. Now it's down to 25. Again, I don't know about the prospect, but the situation.
Brock Bowers 40 to 1.
I worry about that offense as a whole. I would almost rather take Ricky Pearsall at 40 to 1 with the idea that the San Francisco offense, maybe Ayuk ends up getting traded to the Steelers and then Pearsall comes in. But again,
is that still on the table?
I think Ayuk getting traded is still a slight possibility. I don't think Debo's getting traded. I don't know. In what scenario is Ricky Pearsall beating out Caleb Williams? It's too crazy. I'm just going to stick with Bo Nix and Michael Penix, as I think you have to.
Got to be quarterback,
especially the fact that there were 6 quarterbacks all taken in the top 12 picks.
Then sprinkle Malik Neighbors for me. Just Drew Lock gets dialed in. Hey, they're vibing together.
Oh, I'll book this action.
Yeah,
Malik Neighbors. I don't
want to. I would feel bad if I took. I don't want to take the money off you.
Jalen Santo 150 to 1. Lock it up.
Anyone else on the board you're interested in?
Oh, producer Josh. Yes. Let's see. Is he on the board? Yes, he is. Friend of the program. Ryan, we got to add Carson Steele 200 to 1.
Really?
This is like when
is that a real number?
I mean, Ryan, we've had and Justin Steele almost got there. Cubs pitcher almost got the NL Cy Young at 200 to 1.
That's true.
And I see the case here for Carson Steele. He's in this Chiefs offense. I mean,
Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th round pick.
Isaiah Pacheco almost got it. So let's say he takes over that role. Now again, it's you're going to need some quarterback failure.
Oh,
but
how excellent would that be?
He's going to be one of the first guys I draft in Best Ball Mania.
What round are you
in the last round?
Oh, okay. 2nd round pick Carson Steele.
It's gonna be awesome. Shout out to Carson.
I'm gonna have to.
Are you sprinkling on Carson as well? Right?
Yeah, why not? We might have to get him listed as well at the circuit, but let's wait till we're out there.
Okay. So I got Carson Steele, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, 21-1, 60-1, and 200-1. Kramer has Steele at 200-1, Rattler 80-1, Penix 60-1, Bo Nix 21-1, and Malik Neighbors 14-1.
Here's my guarantee: all of these will be shorter odds when we get to football.
I believe in that guarantee, Ryan.
That's why you got to bet these early.
Yes,
especially if you got that sweet credit action. Just lay away, you know.
Mike Robb saying, assuming Sean is taking Penix, Nix, and McCarthy as rookie of the year, since he knows for sure the Giants should have drafted them and they will regret it. Good point, Mike. Good point.
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah, don't spoil the ending. Brian, I'm seeing Easy likes Brian Thomas. Yeah, it's just gonna be tough with 6 quarterbacks drafted that high. One of those guys is gonna work out.
Well, I also think that you have 3 receivers that are like you can't have 3 like top of the class receivers and be sprinkling other dudes to get it. It's going to be one of those. If any receivers get it, it's going to be one of those dudes. The variance would come more from a running back. If you were to like the Carson Steele angle, if you're going to catch a super long shot, I have a feeling it's going to be someone who gets into the right system, scores a shitload of touchdowns. We were talking about the kid out of Louisville on the 49ers. Another one would be Jalen Wright on Miami. I mean, I don't like the pick because they already have the running back, but it's going to be something like that. Some running back gets into a situation, puts up like 16 touchdowns.
Running back's so hard.
I'm just saying, because
even the rookies, it's not. I mean, but you have to have the full workload.
Comparing it to wide receiver, I'm saying it's, to me, receiver way less likely to see some random guy drafted in the 2nd round or later. 2nd, 3rd round or later. Whereas running back, I think you can win the award from anywhere. Hence the Carson Steele angle. Like, I don't think you have to be a top pick as much as you do for the other positions.
True, but I think you do end up having to get a decent workload.
Yeah, but guy like Carson Steele could get all the workload. Yeah, there are plenty of guys drafted. Dylan John. There are guys drafted late in the draft that could Braylon Allen that could end up with a ton of workload. So I'm just saying that I think running back is actually a better position to sprinkle long shots. That was kind of the thesis there. Don't bet Ladd McConkey is what I'm saying. Be careful before you bet Ladd McConkey. I mean, Ladd McConkey's odds are shorter than Michael Penix.
What would you rather have, Ryan? Ladd McConkey or Cooper DeJean? No particular reason.
Which white guy?
Whoa, I don't see color, but yeah.
Boy, I just have a feeling that one day Cooper DeJean's going to be trying to guard someone and his pants are going to fall off, just like Jason Sehorn. Give me Ladd McConkey. He has a fighting chance at least.
He is on the Chargers, but they're going to be. I mean, maybe they're going to be a smash mouth team.
Harbaugh really picked him up for the cornhole.
Cooper DeJean's going to get a couple punt returns, then slam it home like he dunked in high school. Cooper DeJean's the man, and he angered the entire internet by saying he could beat Caitlin Clark 1-on-1, which is pretty awesome.
Well, they went to college. I mean, at least they went to college together, so it's at least believable that they would be friends, and this isn't some like random shot. I think what will be interesting is the first time we see him play actual football. Will he look fast?
Cooper DeJean? Yeah, 100%.
He played in Iowa. They got that slow grass in the Big Ten. You got to be careful, Sean.
Speed Factory, Iowa.
I don't think he was a top Raz guy.
All right. Hey, we got a great week of shows. I got some more NBA playoffs and of course the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, hell yeah.
The fastest 2 minutes in sports, or what is it? The most exciting 2 minutes in sports, right?
Something like that.
Very
We're going to
fun.
bet on the pony, Sean. That's
and of course, hockey gambling podcast, Stanley Cup playoffs, NBA gambling podcast, NBA playoffs. Our boy CJ Sullivan, man, the box, getting you covered for a lot of hockey and NBA bombs.
College baseball
college baseball. Yeah, shout out to Noah.
Noah got kicked off YouTube on the draft stream, broadcasting the draft from our live stream. No, I'm saying when he called in with his draft, I believe that's what got us booted off YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it was what, picking up some music?
Yeah, the music from being live there. Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah.
Shout out to Noah and shout out to everyone tuning in. Toss us a nice rating and review. I'm always feeling generous, sprinkling some gift cards, and smash the subscribe button, especially on Spotify. They're rolling out subscriber numbers, so that always helps.
Smash.
And we'll talk to you soon. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Malik Neighbors is going to be really good, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.